Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss along with Paulie Howard. We are live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Fun 3-hour program lined up today. Tons of hoops. It is the madness, obviously. On the show today, Paul Stone in 30 minutes. He is the defending champ of the Circa College Hoops Challenge. And he started off by going 5-0 last week. Pretty good. Greg Peterson, full half hour with hoops. Coming up in 90 minutes, we'll run the table with tonight's games and ask him about some of the marquee matchups that we have on tomorrow's slate. Bruce Marshall, more bets from him, college basketball, and Kevin Rogers with some system plays. Double Revenge, which we've had a couple so far today. We'll update you on that throughout. Paulie, how you feeling today, man? Good?
Well, I was better this morning.
Before the game tipped off, Belmont and Drake?
This is where these small conferences hurt themselves, and it's just you play 4 months for nothing. I don't like this. Drake was 12-19 entering the Missouri Valley. From January 28th to March 4th, they didn't win a game. They just took out the 1 seed, scored 100 points plus 650 on the money line. They are 2 wins away from going to the tournament.
Catching 12.5.
Yes. Yeah, boat raced them too.
So, obviously, like this specific tournament gets a lot of attention on this show, the entire network, pretty much anywhere that you're going to be listening for gambling, tidbits during the mid-major tournament week and in the next week as well. 3-0 to the under yesterday. I don't know how some of those games actually did stay under, but they did. Updated 10-1 last year, 33-12 since 2021. High totals today. And then that game that you talked about, that opened on the screen 157.5. The first number I saw was 155.5. And the total when they played this year in the 2 games, 147.5, went over, 154.5, flew over that. And today, the same exact thing. That closed at 152.5, and it never had a chance.
Who's betting these over? I don't understand this. Like everyone knows these are unders, and they're taking over money late. The Murray State game took over money, and they're betting the over in the Northern Iowa game.
It's computer groups.
I don't get it. So it's 20. It's also 20-5 the last 2 years as well. So I don't get it. Although I did say be careful with this Belmont game because they're up tempo and can score, and I said be careful with this Murray State game. Interesting to note that Murray State swept Illinois-Chicago, but Illinois-Chicago was favored. Right.
Well, also, this ties into it, I think, as well. For the game that's ongoing in the Missouri Valley, 12 minutes and change to go in the first half, and Illinois-Chicago was leading Murray State 17-10. So that screen, on the screen last night, it opened up 155. The total when they played on New Year's Day was 160. The final was 81-77, so it stayed under that number, but over the number today. When they played February 3rd, the total was 158, stayed under that number as well, 81-74. So basically, this game today closed at 150 at some books. Mm-hmm. That was 8 or 10 points lower than when they played in the regular season. I think people are going to notice that as well and say that's too much of an adjustment, much like the Valpo-Bradley game coming up later on. Opened I don't know how long it stayed there. And again, this is what Richie Bachelleri was talking about yesterday. For a book or maybe a couple of books to open 141.5, it probably took 1 or 2 bets and they moved it big time. Then got down to 133.5. When they played this year, the totals were 144.5 and 144. So the reason why, this is so
They're
baked
wrong,
in.
Though. I disagree with them. If it's too much of an adjustment, it's historically an under venue and an under arena.
That's true.
Whether it's the shooting background or as we got the great feedback yesterday about the tight rims, and no one goes to the games early on, especially. So it's like the Summit League. Why they're doing the right thing in the Summit League? The only league that's been better than the Missouri Valley is the Summit League. Both games went under yesterday. 16-3 the last 3 years. Both games 154 down to 149, 166 down to 160. So it's the same thing, and the Summit League has even been better for unders in the Missouri Valley.
I'll give you the example on the game coming up tonight, Northern Iowa and Illinois State. That is supposed to tip at 9:30 Eastern time. So the opener was 125.5. Got down, lowest part that I saw, or point number I should say that I saw with the total was 123.5. As we sit here hours before tip-off, it's up to 127.5 right now at DK. 125.5 at some of the exchanges. When they played this year, the totals were 132, stayed under, 132.5, went over. But again, when that got down to 123.5, that's a 9-point difference to what it was like. And I just, to answer your question, I think that's what people are doing, again, right or wrong. And it's also, people who do the modeling, the computer groups, and they're just like, damn, my numbers are much higher than that, so I got to play it over. They don't even look at the trends. They don't care about the Missouri Valley over the last 3 to 5 to 10 years.
Wow, that's incredible. I good luck to you then. I mean, 13 straight unders, and you're going to try to buck the trend by saying what your numbers based on. I mean, if it's a whole different venue and a whole different situation with the rims,
I think the venue has to play
adjust.
a pretty big role in everything.
It's like when you play the Final Four games in football stadiums, how tough the shooting backgrounds are and how ugly the games could be. So, again, it's the same thing with the Summit, but they're betting those under big time in the Summit.
You took a stand earlier in the week when this number first came out. You took Ohio tonight, plus 5.5 at home against Miami of Ohio, as the Red Hawks are going for an undefeated regular season. And if they win tonight, most of us agree that they have to be in regardless of what happens in the MAC tournament. Greg Peterson on the program a little bit later on, he likes Miami. He laid the 5.5. He thought it wasn't enough. He also likes the over in the game tonight. Mm-hmm. So where are they at mentally? Like, how tight do you think the team is compared to, the other side of that argument would be, well, maybe they're just completely loose. They're a really good shooting team anyway. They score a ton of points. They come out and have a lot of fun tonight, knowing that this is the last dance in the regular season, and they could really cap off, something they're going to talk about for the rest of their lives.
I think they're going to be tight. That's how they've been playing. It's been a struggle here lately. Joe Lunardi said they are absolutely in if they win and punch a ticket in the big dance with a win. They finish the undefeated season. Bill Ayers wrote about it today. They'd be the 8th team to do it since 1976. Let's root for the history here. Let's root for this in and see if they can get it done. But and maybe your angle's right about it's going to be more of a home game with what's going on in Ohio on campus as well. So we'll see if they can play free and loose like they were earlier in the season and like they were for much of the season. No opinion on the team total, though, as they've played a couple unders with that, too. But it's a high total. They score 92 a game. And let's get the job done tonight. See if they can get it done in the marquee game at 6 Pacific.
Any opinion or bet for you on St. John's at Seton Hall? Peterson will explain this coming up in a little bit more than an hour. He likes the home dog here in Seton Hall in the game. The Johnnies are 75-1 to win the title. They were 20-1 back in September and October before the season started.
Yep. I think they bounced back. They had a bad performance last time out. I trust Pitino here in this one, and I also think UNLV's getting too many points tonight in San Diego State, which the Aztecs are now not even next four out with all the issues they've had and all the losses. And I think they know they have to win the conference tournament. They shouldn't be this high on a pretty good UNLV team that just comes. Yeah, the argument could be they're off a A+ performance against Utah State, but I just don't think how the Aztecs should be laying this much, and now they've lost 4 or 5. In that late game, too. Yeah.
Here's an example of some possible other trends to take into consideration for these tournaments, how it can go well for you or how it can go poorly. The example, some of the best teams in conference play throughout the entire year are in action either this morning, were in action this morning, or are in action later on tonight. For example, Penn is the best team in action today in conference play at 10-3 ATS. They're laying about 2 points tonight against Brown. Central Arkansas in conference was 12-4-2 ATS, one of the best marks in the entire country. They played Bellarmine today, and they beat them by 13, and they covered that game. But I will flip it again. This can be a nice tool. It doesn't mean it's the be-all, end-all. Northeastern started today at 2 p.m. Eastern time. The game is almost over with right now. In fact, it just ended. Northeastern was 3-15 ATS in the regular season. Now, some of these teams are obviously very bad. They were catching 1.5 against NC-A&T. Northeastern just won by 16 points. And they had a pitiful regular season. The other team like that, well, Drake was one as well earlier today. They were 6-15 ATS in league play, one outright 12.5-point dog. And Florida Gulf Coast was 5-13-1 ATS in their league, catching 4.5 today against Lipscomb. They're running them out of the gym right now. Yeah. Some of the worst teams in the regular season from start to finish the entire year in their conferences are manhandling their opponents so far. It doesn't go that way every single time, but The other bad team that goes tonight, 7:30 Eastern, VMI is 5-13 ATS in league play. They're a huge dog, 7.5 points against UNC Greensboro.
It's a good game, too, with Dayton and VCU.
Yeah.
I have no opinion on the game, but I think the winner, the one of these teams will win the Atlantic 10 Conference Tournament. I don't like how St. Louis is playing the last couple of weeks, and I also think if VCU wins this game and wins a couple more, they'll get an at-large bid if they would happen to lose in the conference final as well. Because all these other teams are losing. That's the other thing. Miami, say what you want. They keep winning games.
Right.
All these teams around them on the bubble are losing. So another reason why Lenardi's right. If they win tonight, they're in. But I think VCU making a late push, too. That's a good game against Dayton. See what Hoops thinks coming up.
So even though Jerry Palm has been adamant, based on historical numbers, that if Miami doesn't win the MAC, they're out. He said that with Money Moves this week right here on VSiN. And he was pretty strong on it, by the way. But Lenardi absolutely says they're in, and I think more and more people are coming around to Miami's side.
Well, Palm's going on numbers. Palm's
yes.
not going on history, that it's never happened before that a team's been undefeated, though, in this situation. That's what he's not factoring in. He's just looking at a bad non-conference or SOS. But at the end of the day, the thing that's going to carry the day is the 0 by the loss call.
Has to.
So that's what he's not factoring in. And that's why he's going to be wrong on this if they win tonight.
Mm-hmm. Let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. The NBA got us good last night, but we have to come right back and attack a slate filled with great matchups on paper, including this game between Cooper Flagg in Dallas and the return of Jason Tatum in Boston. We'll discuss next.
So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We do have a rock-solid schedule tonight in the association. Have to say this so up front to begin this segment, Paulie. The Moneyline Parlay got us pretty good last night. Now, I threw in the Rockets because the Warriors have been an absolute stink bomb. How did the Rockets lose that game? How does Kevin Durant, who made 30 straight free throws, miss 2 late in the game? That would have tied it. Are you kidding me?
That was a horrible loss, and that was bad defense. Why are you helping? If Al Horford wants to take a contested shot down near the basket for a 2, let him.
Yes.
Why do you help and then give wide open threes, which to these guys is a layup, how good these guys are in the NBA shooting? It was horrendous defense and over-helping, and that's what got him beat, and a sick beat if he had the under as well.
No kidding.
That was a horrible loss by Houston, and just, it happens. The Suns embarrassed themselves. To lose, the Bulls were in total control for much of that game. The Suns didn't make a run till 2 minutes left. So a team that had lost 13 of 14 and a double-digit home favorite, and you lose. So horrible job by Phoenix.
Jalen Green was absolutely awful last night,
5 of 20. That's another thing that'll get you, too. He was 5 of 22.
And by the way, the division can be there still.
Yep.
Lakers were losing the entire time. You can't get ahead of the Bulls. And why are the Bulls winning that game?
Yep.
The whole thing is confusing, and it really made me rethink things here in the NBA overall. But tonight we have a good schedule.
Great schedule. Buzz City Killers, the team. I think we're getting carried away. Now favored to win the division. What a story this would be. They're 3 back in the loss column of the Magic. Only 20 games left. But as I said yesterday, when you can thump Boston and OKC on the road, maybe they close 17-3 or something like that. Best team in the league going back since January, and the best record since January 22nd. The 19-2 record with the starting 5. That's so good. Up to 8 in some spots against the Miami Heat. Hope there isn't a letdown. And it's been an organization that hasn't had any success. This would be a great story if they can keep this going. They also get helped out that Embiid's out another week. As we've talked about, they could catch Philadelphia maybe and get up there and maybe get the 7 or the 6 seed. Minus 270 to make the playoffs but I think the bet to be made is over 43.5 adjusted wins at Caesars, based on how well they're playing and how great they've been defensively and the just phenomenal numbers when the starting five is out there.
There's also this, since the beginning of the year, 22-8 ATS, a plus 11.4 point differential. And we have gone down every possible number with this team throughout the entire week. They're the best team in the NBA by far since January 1st. They're the best road team, not close. Now they're back home tonight. If they're ever going to have a letdown, would it be in this game? Back home now after you absolutely thumped Boston from the get-go in that game and how things have changed. These two teams have played twice. And I hate this because most of the teams in this division played at the beginning of the year, and it's not backloaded. I wish now that it's coming down to all four of these teams being really close at the top, that they'd have more games against each other. But alas, the NBA schedule makers did not do that. No, check that. October 28th, right out of the gates at Miami. Heat was they were laying 6.5. Total was 241.5. They beat Charlotte 144-117. A little bit more than a week later, again in Miami, the Heat were 7.5 that game. They won 126-108. They've played twice. The Heat have pounded them twice. And now the team that they absolutely destroyed, they're now laying the number that Miami was favored by in the first two games. But power ratings change, and the Heat are without a couple of key guys in this game tonight.
Yeah. Wiggins, doubtful too. Big. That's one of them. Yep. And I don't know what to expect from Tatum tonight. As Flagg goes home, going to play him on a back-to-back. A game Dallas team last night should have won, up 4 with 30 seconds. Let it slip away. Tatum 12.5 with his points prop. DraftKings got a full menu up, not only tonight, but also what's he going to do the rest of the season. And I think this is one you sit back and wait and just watch about how this is going to look and how to just change the dynamic of the team that you played so well, and now your star players back after being out the whole year.
It's also a big number. Now, I know it's a back-to-back for Dallas. Like, how many minutes, for example, will Flagg play? Last night in his return,
true, yeah.
18 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 4 blocks. He did
22 shots.
Did a little bit of everything. Tonight's prop, 17.5 points, 4.5 rebounds. You can find 2.5 or 3.5 assists. What do you think about playing him over? He went over this number last night, and a ton of times when, before the injury, 3.5 assists is plus money on the over.
I want to look at Brandon Williams, who's playing 18, 14, 16, 16, 19, 15, 17, 18, 13, 15, 17, 20, 19. Guy's been a machine, what he's doing. He's only 12.5 with his points prop. So all the talk of Marshall and Flagg and these other guys, this guy's been scoring and going over his points prop on a regular basis. And it does hurt that Klay Thompson's playing after he was so good last night. But I think Williams should get 13 points tonight. And that's also help you out, too, that you don't know about the minutes for Flagg as well and how long he's going to go.
Back-to-back for the Lakers tonight. They are currently 9.5 point favorites against Indiana. And for the Pacers, probable tonight, Nesmith, Nembhard, and Siakam. LeBron did not finish the game last night. Elbow discomfort.
He's out.
The quote, is that official now?
He's out. Ayton's out.
Okay.
Yep. Good riddance, Ayton. He outscored by 13 points. He played 4 minutes.
LeBron said after the game last night, pretty sore right now, day-to-day. Here's the deal, and the guy that I attacked, hoping that LeBron was not going to play. When LeBron is not playing and Austin Reeves does, Reeves is 10-3, over 5.5 assists, 7+ in 10 of those, in all 10 of those overs. So right back at it in the NBA tonight after getting my heart ripped out a night ago, but I laddered him all the way up to 10 tonight, and that was 12-1 when I played that earlier today.
All right. They should get whatever they want offensively against Indiana. And there's a couple interesting spots tonight. It's a bad spot for the Nuggets after that big win late at home against the Lakers. And the Knicks are sitting there fresh and ready to go.
They're favored.
Yeah, I think they should be more. What a performance. And it moved the MVP number a little bit. First player in NBA history. Wemby had 38. What do you have? 38, 16, 5 blocks, and a bunch of threes as they blew out Detroit. And now they're taking on the Clippers, so we'll see how the Spurs do on a back-to-back. They're down to 6.5.
What number did you see on him for the MVP?
It's down to 16-1 in some spots, 17-1.
Yeah, that's pretty. I saw, I think, 18 earlier today.
They can rip off. They also could rip off like a 17-3 run with how they could close, and that would catch OKC, I think, and they have the tiebreaker. So maybe this determines the MVP about who gets the overall best record too. But also the 38-16 is going to help them out as well.
I heard, I heard Nick Whalen talking about the Blazers and Rockets earlier today.
Yeah, this is bad for Houston.
Well, he did point out that he likes Kevin Durant's points and rebounds prop over. And after last night, you would expect him to bounce back in a fierce way. And he has destroyed Portland, I think 30 plus in every one of those games so far this year. So he has been fantastic. I will point out, Reed Shepherd was awesome again last night. He was the best player on Houston. He is now the second shot on the board to win Sixth Man of the Year, plus 320 or shorter than that. His prop tonight is 15.5 or 16.5 in the game. I don't know. He might start tonight in the game because of other guys who could be sitting for Houston. I think he can do this. And I got 60-1 on him before the year started at Sixth Man of the Year. I think he can edge out. It's going to come down to Naz Reid, Keldon Johnson, and maybe Jaquez in Miami. But I think Reid is going to have a great case coming up in about a month or so to win this bad boy. Saddiq Bey and the Pelicans are playing at the Suns. Now, his points prop, curious here looking at this, because books left it at around 16.5 for a while until last night, taking on a bad Kings team. So they adjusted. They made him, I think it was either 20.5 or 21.5. He scored 20 to go under. It's back down to 16.5 tonight. Saddiq Bey has scored 18 plus in 7 out of 8 games and 9 out of 12. He would have gone over 16.5 last night, but the adjustment was there. Now back down. I'm intrigued. I might have to bet that on him as well.
Zion's been solid, and the other guy, too, I think Grayson Allen bounces back. He couldn't make anything last night also in the loss, as Allen let him down and Green let him down in that horrible loss to the Bulls. Let's see how they respond.
Have you noticed how many threes he's taking?
Yeah, then Brooks got arrested after the game, too.
Yeah, DUI.
Yep.
So his last 3 games, Grayson Allen, these are the attempts from 3 we're talking about. 16, 12, and 16. So before that, in the month of February, 5 other games, he was only 1 of 9 against Boston, but he took 14, 13, 11, and 13 in the other games in that month.
Yeah, this should be an up and down track meet, too. I mean, that game was crazy last night in Sacramento, and how the Pelicans play with the pace. So 3.5 over minus 120. I would say he bombs away and atones for what happened last night.
Minus 120, you said?
Yes.
Yeah. That's, I think, I mean, again, if you're going to give me a guy taking 12, 13, 14 threes a game, 3.5 when it's not that bad of a number. Another one that Nick Whalen brought up today on the show was Kobe White for the Hornets. Not chucking as much as when he was in Chicago, but he'll get time again. He's 1.5 made threes tonight over minus 115. I think that's a pretty damn good number to bet on him as well.
With the Ayton news, what's Jackson Hayes, excuse me. Because you see it last night, and I know Barkley and Shaq ripped Ayton for the Capella comments. They're going to feed you. Just attack the rim, and it's going to be Dunk City. The guy had a ton of points last night. All he's doing is playing hard, and they're feeding him with the alley-oops. He's 10.5 tonight.
10.5, yeah.
With Ayton out, Hayes should have a big game tonight.
Paul Stone next, 5-0 mark, first weekend of the College Hoops contest here at Circa, leader in the clubhouse with that record. He's got bets tonight, a look at tomorrow's card, and some futures as well coming up here on Follow the Money.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Update here from the Missouri Valley. Illinois Chicago leading Murray State 38-24, under 4 minutes to play in the first half. We talk about this game because it's the Missouri Valley, and the updated total now is 155.5, Paulie, and certainly closed lower than that. And, the early game today between Drake and Belmont went flying over the total, and that ended that 3-0 run from yesterday and going all the way back to last year and many years previously where it was always under in the Missouri Valley. And Paul Stone joins the program now, professional sports bettor. Went 5-0 week 1 of the Circa College basketball contest. Leader in the clubhouse, and he's on the progressive guest line. And you are involved. First of all, thanks for the time, pal. You're involved in the game coming up a little bit later on tonight with Valpo and Bradley, but you're not betting the total. You like the dog, yeah?
Yeah, I tell you, Valparaiso, they're a team, Mitch, that all year long they play to their level of competition. These teams played twice during the regular season. They both won by 7 on their home floor. Valpo covered both of those games. They were getting 2.5 at home and won by 7 on the road, getting 7.5 and lost by 7. So got the cover by a half point there. But this Valpo team, they're a team that plays slow. They rank 309th in adjusted tempo, according to KenPom, possessions per game, 272nd. Just under 69 possessions a game. So I think they're going to condense this game. We have to lose by 5 or more to lose the money here. You've got a Bradley team that hadn't played that well on the road during Missouri Valley Conference play during this calendar year. Only 2-7 against the spread away from home. And then you've got a Valpo team this year, win an underdog, getting 20 or fewer points. They're 14-4 against the spread. So they've been very profitable as an underdog. I like Valpo plus 4.5 over Bradley.
Go get them, my friend. How about a total? This game goes coming up in a half hour. Citadel and Chattanooga. How about under in this game?
Got the under. I think pretty much we're seeing a consensus 147.5 market wide. We were maybe a half an hour ago anyway, but there's going to be a lot of threes being shot in this game. So I am kind of messing with fire a little bit here, but my hope is obviously that they won't make a whole lot of them. Both these teams attempt of their field goal attempts, about 50% are three-pointers. So there's going to be a lot of three-pointers shot in their most recent game, the Citadel, which was a 93-90 overtime win at Wofford. They made 10 of 26 three-pointers, so they shot 38% from three-point land in their most recent game, but that's not indicative of the Citadel, season long. In their previous 5 games to the victory over Wofford, they were a combined 43 of 154 from three-point territory, so just under 28%. They shoot, again, a high ratio of threes, but only hit a little over 31% on the year to rank 310th out of 365 teams. Chattanooga, they're pretty good at defending the three-pointer. They're above the midline among the 365 Division I teams, allowing just under 35%. One thing that I've got to avoid here is the Citadel. They've kind of been a magnet for overtime games. 5 of their last 15 games have gone to overtime. Wow. And that's a really high rate. Hopefully we're not going to OT. That's where, overtime's where unders go to die. So let's hope it doesn't go to overtime. Citadel and Chattanooga under 147.5.
Very good. As the show progresses today, more and more numbers will come out for the games on tomorrow's college basketball card, one of which would be Texas A&M taking on LSU, and the quote from their head coach, Bucky McMillan, after their latest win this week, and they're a lot of fun to watch, but he said, quote, "I'm not coaching basketball afraid of my own shadow. Basketball is a war. We pick up people 94 feet because the court is 94 feet, not 40 feet. We play to live, and we don't play to die," end of quote. We talked about that earlier in the week. It's a great quote, and they can maybe do some damage in the tournament. But what is your advice when they take on LSU tomorrow?
Well, this is as much a play. Obviously, first of all, I'll say that A&M, Joe Lunardi lists Texas A&M currently as the last 4 buys. So he has them not playing that Tuesday, Wednesday games in Dayton, but in the tournament. Jerry Palm, who you guys had on, I believe, earlier this week, he's got Texas A&M as the last 4 in. So they're just above the bubble. So they can't afford to go to Baton Rouge tomorrow and lose the game. Right now, KenPom's got A&M winning this game by 2 points. I think it might open a little bit higher than that. So I'm willing to lay 3 or 3.5 here with the Aggies. This is just an LSU team. It has been a tough year. All signs indicate that Matt McMahon's 4th season in Baton Rouge is going to be his last. The Tigers started out pretty good. They were 12-1 against a manageable non-conference schedule. But once they got to SEC play, they lost De'Don Thomas Jr., their point guard, transferred from UNLV to injury for the season, and they just hadn't been able to compete. Only 3-14 in SEC play, tied for last with South Carolina in the league. A lot of apathy there in LSU. Their most recent home game against Oklahoma, the announced crowd, a little over 7,000. Had some people that were at the game tell me there was several hundred there, probably less than 1,000. I don't know if that's exactly true, but I think they probably have been inflating maybe the numbers a little bit. But if you took Alabama as well, add one more point on this game. If you took Alabama when they traveled LSU a week or so back, if you took them early and laid the 5.5 to 6.5, LSU has now failed to cover their last 5 home games, so they hadn't been very good at home. I think A&M goes in there. This is an Aggie team that's already won outright at Auburn, Texas, Georgia, and Oklahoma. They need the victory badly. I think they go in there and beat LSU by 4 or more.
There are 2 heavyweights in the Southland Conference, Stephen F. Austin and McNeese State. Take us through maybe the little controversy here and how you want to handicap this with a tidbit of what you want to do with McNeese State.
Well, first of all, Stephen F. Austin, they won the Southland Conference regular season title by 1 game, and they were rewarded for that long season. They play a lot of conference games, too. They play well over 20. And for winning the conference, they get to go to McNeese's home court in Lake Charles, Louisiana. McNeese, a couple of years back, by the conference commissioner and the higher-ups, was awarded the conference tournament through 2029. I think they do probably have the nicest facility in the league, and they are equipped to host the tournament. But it is, you should get something for winning the regular season tournament title, and SFA now has to go to McNeese and win the tournament there to be able to get a bid in the NCAA tournament. The way the tournament bracket is set up, SFA and McNeese both, by finishing 1 and 2, get buys all the way to the semifinals. So the way that I'm looking at this right now is, and it's just a way you're going to make a little bit of money. You're not going to make a whole lot. There's just a little exposure, though, in my opinion. I think Mitch was saying off air that maybe he or somebody got McNeese at plus 115 or plus 120 earlier in the week. But McNeese now, even money is the best I'm seeing. Plus 100, even money at DraftKings, Westgate, and maybe some others. I would recommend taking McNeese at even money to win the Southland Conference. In their semifinal game, the only game they have to play to reach the finals, they're going to be favored by more than 10.5 points against whoever it is. It could be one of 3 teams, Northwestern State, Nicholls State, or Texas Rio Grande Valley. They're going to be favored probably by 11.5 or more against all 3 of those teams, so they're probably going to win. Now they get to the finals. The least amount of points they're going to be favored by is going to be probably 4.5 to 5.5 points if it's Stephen F. Austin, and probably by double digits if it's another team besides Stephen F. Austin. So at that point, you can either come back and take the underdog. If it's Stephen F. Austin, it would be in the range of probably, plus 170 to a little over plus $2. Take the underdog on the money line and take a small profit or come out even. Should McNeese win, you could just hold your ticket on McNeese at even money and have great value, because if you took them on the money line at minus 4.5 to minus 5.5, you'd be laying minus 195, maybe to minus 240. And then thirdly, you could go for a middle. You could keep your McNeese even money, to win the Southland ticket in your pocket and take their opponent plus the points. That way and have a middle opportunity. So hopefully that wasn't too convoluted.
No,
but
good.
you can make you can either come out even or make a small profit. Obviously, the catch is McNeese has got to win their semifinal game, but they're going to be heavily favored in that game. It's going to be on their home court. I think they're a little bit undervalued. I don't think that home court's being given maybe quite as much consideration as it should by the house.
Very good breakdown. Follow Paul on X at Paul Stone Sports. 5-0 last weekend, the opening weekend of the Circa College Basketball Challenge. He is the defending champ. Paul, thanks for the time. That was awesome. Good luck tonight and again this weekend in the contest.
Good deal. Appreciate you guys having me. Hope everybody has a great weekend of college basketball.
Back at you. And he was on the Progressive guest line. Right now, 17 seconds to go, Missouri Valley before halftime. Illinois, Chicago pounding Murray State 48-31.
Remember Max Hoffmeyer said Charleston Southern to win the Big South at 35-1?
Yeah.
They were up 7 with 40 seconds. They are losing.
You're kidding.
With 15 seconds left. Oh, man, what that could have been in play on Winthrop. Oh, my God, what a collapse this would be.
Win, lose next. 2 more games starting top of the hour and a crazy scheduling spot tonight in the NHL.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Big South quarters. The 2-seed Winthrop against the 7-seed, I believe, Charleston Southern. Southern led by 7 with 40 seconds left. Winthrop hits a 3. They get a steal, a layup, and 1. Steal, layup, stop, ball game. They somehow win. I can't imagine what that was in play.
Probably off the board.
Oh, my God. The GK had that up. It was, I think I saw 1,000 when they were down 3. So the condolences if he had futures on Charleston Southern in that one. As Mitch mentioned, 50-32 Illinois-Chicago at the half. We could have back-to-back 100-point games in the Valley. Coming into today, 13 straight unders in the Missouri Valley tournament the last 2 years. 33-12 since 2021. 20-5 the last 2 years. The late game, Northern Iowa, Evansville under, 133 down to 128, fell 127. We started today with a huge upset. Belmont, the 1 seed, out from January 28th to March 4th. Drake didn't win a game. They entered the conference tournament 12-19. They are on to the semis. They were plus 650 on the money line today. Louisiana Tech yesterday was 4-1. Georgia Southern plus 280. Delaware plus 290. North Dakota State 8.5 up to 12.5. Won by 11. Hawaii, Cal Riverside over 144 up to 150. And don't forget about the Summit League unders. 16-3 the last 3 years. 2-0 yesterday. 2 more games tonight. NBA Bulls 4-1 on the money line. That's just an embarrassing, ridiculous loss for the Suns at home. You're right. What are the Bulls doing winning that game?
Well, and as you said, Paul, they controlled it.
Yeah, they did. Wire job. And a bad loss by Houston. Horrible defense. Over-helping, giving up wide-open threes. Great game, though. Warriors winning overtime, 4-1. Pelicans, Kings over, 231 up to 236. That was good. Subscribe, be part of the team, vsin.com. Our radio and podcast friends always want to see these tweets and videos. At Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in. We'll put you on. This is phenomenal. Let's go to California. How about the Sushi Tower? They serve this. Look at that. That's impressive. I would need Kobayashi and Chestnut. Look at this. How many people does that feed?
I'm trying to look.
Look how many rolls are on there.
14. Cursory look tells me about 25 rolls probably.
That's impressive. That's awesome.
I'm like, now how many rolls can you eat on your own?
2 maybe? 3 tops?
Oh, you can eat more than that.
No, I can't. 3 tops. Corey says he can have 7 rolls.
I can have 4
Good for
easy.
you, yeah?
If I have nothing else, if it's just sushi that you're sitting down, I can whack down 4, no problem.
God, that's awesome. Corey, send that to me. I got to put that up. That's creative.
Do you get
also
exotic with sushi?
No.
Oh.
I'm plain Jane.
Oh,
I'm pretty boring.
I get crazy.
Do you? I don't like spicy. That's the other thing.
Yeah. Well, your taste buds.
Yeah, I'm also a wuss when it comes to that. That's great. How about this? How about the dog going after the snowblower? Guy comes out, bring the dog out. The neighbor says, okay, coming in with this. Is it the snowblower?
No,
Oh, wrong. What is it?
Is it like I've never seen this video before.
Oh, I thought it was a snowblower. Nope.
Is this like a homemade sled on skis the guy made? Oh, so it's the cargo area of like a snowmobile.
Okay.
Oh no, he puts it on the back. Okay, and that's when he takes the dogs. Okay, I got
My
you.
fault, Corey. I thought I gave you. You're right. I thought I gave you 7. That's incredible. That is a good one. Creativity there. Excellent. Lose some. Lakers 0-12 ATS. Last 12 as a dog.
Now how about that?
Yep. Doesn't make any sense.
They are going nowhere fast in the playoffs or anytime soon.
Depends what the matchup is. That was a tough one though last night. They should be better than what their performance is though. Belmont, Drake under 157.5 down to 151. Flew over 100 to 79. This is a win some for Metallica. It's a lose some for the fans. Our friend Jordan Scott, Mama's Pizza, and his wife Nicole, they were online trying to get Metallica tickets. I think all 8 dates sold out in 10 minutes. He was in the queue. It showed 32,000 people in front of him.
Oh, you won't even believe the screen grabs that I've seen.
Oh, my God.
We got...
And I know Montesano Our buddy Mike Montesano is also in the fan club and trying to get tickets. He's seeing tickets go for $7,000 per ticket.
We got from the audience chiming in, like on Twitter yesterday, they were 150,000 in line.
Oh, my God.
I have a buddy in town who has been trying to do this like every single day.
Yeah?
And on the first day, he was in line, and it's like, okay, you're up. And then
And
he
it
entered.
disappears,
Then he
they
entered
kick you out?
another room, and it was like he was 30,000 in line. Then
Oh, come on. Tanner's a listener. He reached out on Instagram. It's his favorite band, and his dad loves the band. They're part of the fan club, and they got tickets on the Metallica website on the second try. They had to wait 6 hours and missed out for the first initial 8 dates. They got in. They're coming out in November and staying at Circa. So that shows you what you're up against.
well, let me throw this by you.
It's a bucket list item. It's because it's a game changer with the venue. And it's also not a football stadium. It holds like 19,000.
That's right.
These things will go for 5,000, 6,000.
I love how it's coming across as if the Sphere and Metallica are stunned by the demand.
I know. What'd you expect?
You think it was going to be a tough sell,
Come on.
guys? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
They could have a residency here for 3 years in a row, never take a night off, and they would sell out $1,000 a pop.
Yep.
Come on.
Andre, our buddy here, our producer behind the glass, was in the Philippines on vacation. Here's a lose some here, too. He went to get something to eat. He's at the resort. Look at this guy. Paulon, if I'm pronouncing it right? Like a small Komodo.
Yeah, we'll go
a
with
lizard coming at you. He said there were several of them walking around. I go, do they bite? He said, yeah. Check, please. I'm getting the hell out of there.
Oh, so they're not trained?
Go in your pants, dive in, and swim. No, they're just walking around. Look at that. He's hanging out, and here comes this guy. There's another guy walking around. No, thank you. I'm out of there.
That's rather large.
Yeah, he's not that big. Not like a Komodo, but he's big enough,
Oh,
right?
he'll hop on your back, put you in the rear naked choke, bite your neck.
It's just no good can come of that.
Hey,
Even
buddy.
Even if it gets, that's it. I'm out of here.
You want to roll? You want a treat, buddy? You want to roll over? I'll pet your belly.
I'm not sticking around for that one. Bad beats. Mavs money line plus 270. Up 4 with 30 seconds. Magic hit a 3, get a stop, dunk at the buzzer. Rockets Warriors under 214. Goes over because of overtime. Founded in 2011, the Sharp Plays just complete another dominant run, including a 2025 campaign that saw Bankrose double. 15 straight years of winning, all documented. Records, logs, posted publicly. SharpPlays.com. Full performance auditing, something that separates the Sharp Plays from most of the industry. Mr. Poison back. You get those nightly tweets and updates, what he's doing every night. And when the Sharp Plays moves, books take notice. Advanced AI tools, trusted insider intelligence, identifying price value before the numbers shift. Respected, watched, and feared. That's a Sharp Plays. Give Jeff and the crew a follow. They're excellent. Start winning with them at SharpPlays.com.
Here is the really bad schedule spot tonight in the National Hockey League. It happens to be in this city as the Golden Knights are hosting the Minnesota Wild. Paulie, this is the first home game for VGK since February 5th. 5-game roadie right after the Olympics. They played in LA, then flew to DC, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Detroit. The Wild last played on Tuesday, and they beat Tampa 5-1. They are well rested. The Golden Knights are coming in. This would be, I think this qualifies as a Malinsky special overall for the team. And it's a pick'em tonight. And
Yeah.
oh, by the way, the Wild, you've been all over this now for a while. They've been scorching hot to the over.
No, 4 straight unders now.
Oh, is that? Oh, I have
4
okay.
straight unders.
Oh, okay, all right, never
More,
mind.
yes. And Kevin Rogers will have more on this, too. Not only that, the Knights have been getting off to slow starts. Horrible in the first period, if you want to play that, too. And the other thing, too, for all this Jerry Palm talk, as he was on with JVT, remember, we talked to Mike DeCourcy. And Mike DeCourcy is the bracketologist guy for Fox Sports. He's got Miami of Ohio an 8 seed. So I think Palm's going to be wrong in spectacular fashion here. I'm not going to say they're going to be in the 8-9 game, but Mike has them seeded as an 8.
What if they win the MAC tournament? I would not be surprised if the committee puts them 8-9.
Oh, really?
Undefeated, winning the MAC conference
Yeah.
tournament, you can't be an 11 seed.
No way. 33-1, you can't be an 11 seed, as far as I'm concerned.
I would agree with that as well.
Yeah, especially if the losses to a good Akron team.
Now,
coming up,
did you bet Ohio because you actually thought the number was too? Are you afraid that they might spill it up here and not go undefeated? And you're a little bit afraid of that.
No, I think the number's too high. I'm going
gotcha.
also how they've been playing. They beat Toledo at home by 2. They beat a bad Western Michigan team at home or on the road by, 1 or 2. They were laying doubles in that game. They did have their star player did foul out with 7 minutes left. But I think the nerves are going to get the best of them, too. Now we're all right there.
Let me flip it
I mean,
for
it's
1
only
second.
happened 7 times since 1976.
Yeah. let's say they win by 30 tonight and they're awesome. At that point, during and after the game, every single person's going to have to agree on this.
Then they can be
they
loose.
have to be in.
Yeah, then they can be loose, too, for the conference
Yes,
tournament.
absolutely.
Then I would expect them to rock and roll in the first couple rounds.
And then the MAC
Yeah.
might get 2 teams in, and a conference like the Mountain West could get 1.
Yep. 98, 99. Last time they got 2 teams in.
All right, more college basketball coming up. 14 double revenge games today.
Yeah.
And the betting results have been on fire. Details coming up. Follow the money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.